Good day, one and all, and welcome to Miss Valley Entertainment News. My name is Dread. Have to bear with me today. I have a little bit of a sore throat. I also just woke up, so I am pretty tired. But I've had this waiting. I saw this right before I went to bed, and I was too tired. I said, "Nope, I'll do it when I get up in the morning." So we're going to cover this video, and again, the original video will be linked down below. Please go check it out if you like what the content. Um, Original video is by Mr. Hulton or Mr. Hulton. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And it is called Everything We Know About Exodus, Next Big Sci-Fi RPG. And I thought we'd cover some positive news. A game that'll possibly be good coming out in the future. We've covered a lot of bad news for gaming lately. There's been a big emphasis on it, and I'm not going to get away from covering bad news stories, but we will cover good stuff as well. So let's jump into this and find out about Exodus, apparently the next big sci-fi RPG.
Exodus is an upcoming single-player RPG in the science fiction genre, and its reveal at the Game Awards 2023 was perhaps one of the best new reveals throughout the show, in my opinion. And so naturally, because of several similarities with that of the Mass Effect franchise, today I'll be going through everything that we currently know about this upcoming game. First things first, Exodus is being developed by the fairly new studio known as Archetype Entertainment.
New studio, okay.
And if you're a regular of this channel, you might remember that I actually made a video about the studio not too long ago. In a nutshell, Archetype was started by Wizards of the Coast with a few former Bioware devs at the helm, with James Olin being named the studio head.
Okay.
For any vets in the gaming industry, you probably already knew that James was the lead designer for, yes, would you look at that, Baldur's Gate, which led to him being a lead designer yet again for heavy hitters such as Baldur's Gate 2, Neverwinter.
Oh my god. Okay, so James Olin is the shits. I mean, and I mean that in a good way. He is the shits. He is the top shit of all the shits. These are the games I played. They got me into gaming, really. The Baldur's Gate franchise, the Neverwinter Nights franchise. We're talking my kind of stuff. Obviously, any new game is not going to look like these. These were, top-down games. They were mainly top-down games. They were very simple compared to games nowadays, but they were still great games.
Knights, Knights of the Old Republic, and Dragon Age Origins.
Wow.
So to say that James was instrumental to a lot of Bioware's former success is definitely an understatement.
That's got me excited.
After James had joined, 2 additional key OG Bioware staff joined as well, that being Chad Robertson, who had worked at Bioware for over 14 years, and last but certainly not least, the one and only Drew Karpyshyn joined as well, who acted as the lead writer for Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect 1 and 2, games that have all been cemented as perhaps the best sci-fi RPGs ever made.
I played a little bit of Knights of the Old Republic, not a game I ever finished. I preferred the Old Republic to Knights of the Old Republic, but that's fine. Just more my style of thing. But I never played much Mass Effect either, but I know enough about it. I've played enough about it to know that it had a lot of potential for me, but it tended just to drift off into kind of boring areas, and then I would get bored and leave it. So I kind of wish I'd played through more and seen more of the story, because the story seemed cool, but it just reminded me of Dragon Age Inquisition with a great story, but you would get into these areas where you'd just be drifting along, doing meaningless tasks, and wonder where you were going.
Now, obviously, Exodus isn't being made by just 3 people alone, and with what we've seen and heard so far, it would seem that the OG Bioware gang has accrued a very capable team to make this game. And because of how the game has been marketed so far, you would need some very skilled developers to deliver on the promises that's been made.
Looks decent.
You see, according to James Olin, the entire concept of the game is based off of time dilation, where time starts to act differently when you start approaching the speed of light.
Okay.
In other words, the faster you go, the faster time passes around you, yet you're still the same.
Faster you go, the faster time passes around you, but you're not aging. but everything around you speeds up. Oh, that's oh that that that's definitely interesting. Not sure how that works into a game or what that actually does, but okay, it's different.
This means that your choices will have massive repercussions on the game world, and while we don't really have the details yet on how this will work, it does seem pretty mind-boggling and very ambitious. Like taking the elements of Mass Effect's choice system and cranking it up to 11. Even Chad Robertson stated during the founder Q&A that making a game centered around time dilation is overwhelming, but in a good way since the studio has total freedom of what game they want to make.
That'd be like anytime you speed up to a certain speed, then you're going forward in time. Basically, is what you're doing. Instead of just getting somewhere faster, you're actually time traveling to the future. So you could make a decision, get in a ship and go really fast, and then get out of your ship and be able to see what the consequences maybe of that decision were. Not sure if you can go the other direction, go back and change it. Probably not, but interesting.
Which was something that James also compounded was the reason to why they're able to make a game like this. He also stated that the game will not be linear, as in consequences and endings will vary wildly depending on what you do.
The game is definitely not linear. That's not the style of game that we've ever been interested in making. It's a game where you make choices. Not only will your choices impact the fate of your people and world, but also you're going to have the freedom to explore this new universe the way you want to explore it. That's always a very important factor in a role-playing game. So definitely not linear.
We'll most likely learn more about how it all works in the not too distant future too, since we've already gotten an entire reveal trailer spliced with some pre-alpha footage of the game. And yes, just like in the vein of Mass Effect, Exodus will be a third-person action shooter game, described as having intense action combat, and the way of the traveler is hard and unrelenting. Enemies abound, and mere survival will be a constant battle.
Now, for me, the kind of gamer I am, I prefer a little bit more relaxed games. I'm certainly not a Dark Souls type gaming fan. So when they talk about intense combat, I don't have quick reactions. It's not because I'm in my 50s. I've never had quick reactions. So the kind of gaming that requires quick reactions is not a kind of game that I end up being good at. So I'm hoping this is not that kind of game. I'm hoping, intense combat, there's a way to kind of dumb it down and kind of slide through and still be able to play the game for the story and get some action in, though, without it being overwhelming for somebody like me. That's what I prefer when there's different sliders, there's different variations of how the combat and things will go and how hard the game can be. So the people, everybody can enjoy the game, not just, not just the, I want to say the new generation of gamers, but it's not like everybody in the new generation of gamer probably plays that style or likes that style or can do that style still. But that's my hope. So we'll see though. But this looks really good. I'm guessing this is like alpha footage or something or beta footage. So we'll see.
Now, whether this means that Exodus will be more of an unforgiving
pre-alpha
game,
gameplay
like
on
FromSoft
PS5
games such as Dark Souls, Bloodborne, or Elden Ring remains to be seen, but I'd imagine there being actual difficulty settings just like most games have. Now, judging by the gameplay footage we've seen so far, it does look a little janky, but then again, it's very early footage, so I expect this to change a lot throughout development. I like that there are some traversal items that you can use, like the grappling hook seen here, and hopefully there's more stuff like this that we can expect.
As long as it's not like Jedi Fallen Order crap.
Also, the game is being made in Unreal Engine 5, so we can probably expect some pretty sweet graphics and a smooth experience at launch. Now, combat and exploration are not the only gameplay aspects we can expect from Exodus, as the game will supposedly feature heavy roleplay aspects, and you'll be able to
Good.
interact with your different companions in all kinds of ways. And
Nice.
making the companions memorable is something that's a focal point during development, according to the lead voice.
Companions are a huge part of the experience in Exodus. We're super excited by the palette that we're bringing to bear for all players. And we've got an exciting plan to unveil those over the coming months, and we think fans will be excited by them. But yeah,
Cool.
answers absolutely yes.
As of making this video,
So they're going to be starting to unveil some of the things like about companions and about different things over the coming months. That's cool. So I'm guessing this is a game that doesn't have a release date yet, and I'm guessing as they release a few tidbits here and there, probably throughout the year, we'll probably towards the end of the year maybe get a reveal that the game is going to come out in 2025. Would be my just a guess, but my guess.
we only know about one companion so far, that being the dude in the trailer, Tom Vargas. Yes, he's a companion, but
Oh, wow.
you'd be forgiven if you thought that he was the player character.
Yeah, no kidding.
Simply put, you'll be making your own custom character, and it seems you'll be
Cool.
referred to as the Traveler. However, according to the official website, your character is named June, and June is apparently a human born with celestial heritage.
Okay. So I'm guessing using a name like June, I'm guessing they're doing that so you could be male, female, or maybe something between if you want, whatever, right? So they're not restricting you to, your character's name is Steve, and Steve's got a penis, you know what I mean? Like they're giving you more choice in creating your character. I'm sure hopeful. They're restricting you to human, but other than that, hopefully not. A hunter of secrets and alien technology, inheriting the gift of neural induction from your mother Ava, born of a celestial heritage. You're able to interact with celestial technology. Oh, there's a lot more going on here then. Okay, let's keep going.
Making it possible for June, i.e. you, to interact with the celestial technology throughout your adventure. Also, yes, June will be voiced, so you won't be playing as a silent protagonist.
That's cool. I hope there's a number of voice actors. Like I hope there's like 2 female voices, 2 male voices at least to choose from. Even more would be cool, but I think 2 would be acceptable for each. That would be cool. I'm gonna guess there's like an American accent and a British accent. That's usually how they do it. Isn't that true though? A lot of games that's how they do it. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with either of those. I never get a Canadian accent character. We don't go around talking about our toques or our toboggans and I don't know, our loonies, saying A all the time and being very, very polite. Anyways.
In the game, the protagonist is voiced. We want players to feel that identity and connection to the player, and voice is a key part of that to make it feel immersive.
Speaking of celestial technology, what are the Celestials then? Well, according to the official lore and James Olin, Celestials seem to be the main villains, and they're supposedly extremely powerful in comparison to regular old humanity. As we delve deeper, it's been revealed that the Celestials are in actuality very ancient humans that spliced off and evolved into an almost entirely new species throughout a period of roughly 25,000 years, with the game itself being set somewhere around 41,500 AD.
Oh.
On the official timeline section, we can see that humanity fled a dying Earth in the year 2200, known as the Exodus, with several Ark ships arriving in the Omega Centauri cluster roughly 16,000 years later, whereby they started colonizing nearby star systems. This unfortunately led to interstellar wars between various human empires, which is referred to as the Formation Wars. After this rough patch of humanity's expansion, the Celestials rose in the year 30,000 AD, whereby they were known as the Elohim. And this advanced new offshoot species constructed these giant portals that we see in the trailer, known as the Gates of Heaven.
So we got the Elohim and the Gates of Heaven, the Celestials. I'm getting a lot of vibes of things semi-taken from the Bible. You know what I mean? The Elohim is mentioned, not as celestial race or whatever, but are mentioned in the Bible. The gates of heaven. Like it's just very. It's just a way for them to I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm tired still, but yeah, uh, bits and pieces, kind of, sort of taken from the Bible, but obviously changed. But yes, interesting, interesting. Not the first franchise to do something like that. That's for sure.
which subsequently sped up galactic trade and exploration because of faster than light travel. After this, the original Celestials, the Elohim, simply disappeared, but not before establishing what's known as the Unbreakable Laws,
Where did they
such
go?
as prohibiting
Oh,
the
no.
destruction of habitable
Bet
worlds.
you we have to find them.
The Elohim are supposedly so powerful that they can move entire planets to other systems.
Nice.
Which, as an interesting side note, would put them somewhere between a Type 2 and Type 3 civilization on the Kardashev scale.
So they can move planets to other systems. That'd be like the the universe is a giant pool table for them, and they're just like knocking the balls around, right? Something like that.
Which is pretty insane. Now, whether the Elohim return and become the main villains throughout the game, or if they're the good guy Celestials, remains to be seen. But we do know that there are other celestial empires we will be interacting with that started taking over when the Elohim disappeared.
Interesting.
Now, another really interesting element of Exodus is the supposed importance of genetic engineering. Of course, we've already seen the extent of genetic engineering with the Elohim and the Celestials,
Big necks.
but Exodus also has sentient pigs. Yes.
Wow. This is reminding me of the Outer Worlds, this part. I don't know if their pigs were so much sentient, but they were definitely modified. Remember that.
In this short little video, we see Charlotte, who's referred to as an awakened domestic pig, together with some information about things such as vocabulary, scent magnification, and bite force. But whether we're getting an awakened pig companion remains to be seen, and chances are that this is just a showcase for how genetic engineering started.
Oh, that'd
in
be
the
cool.
follow-up video, we can see an in-game dating app that references awakened species as
In-game dating app? Like a human female, a human male, a human non-binary, a non-human AI, a non-human awakened species, or other non-specified. Wow. Weird.
as well as artificial intelligence.
You what?
If you're interested in some extra world building, I'd highly suggest checking out the short stories attached to each of these prologue videos. They're pretty cool. Alright, so you might be asking, okay, this sounds cool and all, but what's the deal with Matthew McConaughey? Is he voicing the protagonist? And well, no, Matthew's character has yet to be revealed, but he supposedly plays someone who takes up the role of a mentor to our player character, June. According to the top boys, Matthew will be someone who we'll be in constant contact with throughout the game. And from what it sounds like, he's the one who's going to inform us and give us insight on our decisions and what they might lead
I guess
to.
he's the AI.
Again, hopefully we'll learn more
in our
in the coming
spacesuit or
months.
something.
As of today, we don't have a release date for the game yet, but since we've seen pre-alpha footage, it looks like the studio has gotten pretty far with development, so my personal guess is that it's not more than a few years away. Then again, Archetype has been pushing out a lot of information about the game, so we might be in for an earlier release than we think. Alright guys, remember to subscribe.
So interesting. I'm not a big fan of an RPG where you get to make your character, but you wander around in a spacesuit. I mean, you can't see your character then, really, which sucks. I think it's great that it's third person, but if you're in a spacesuit, it sucks. Thankfully, there's a lot of footage of not in spacesuits, so hopefully, you're limited. I would hope the game has you in your spacesuit no more than 1/3 of the time, so you actually still get to see your character rather than just see a big bulky spacesuit walking around, because that sucks. Just hoping for some nice sliders and options in the character creation too, so you can actually create a character that's uniquely yours. That would be excellent. And again, I'm hoping for the gameplay to have difficulty levels so that people of all kinds of gaming experience or non-experience can get through the game fine and still experience the game for the story and everything else. That'd be great. Or get to a hard part and have the option to quickly save your game and then turn the difficulty down and play through a part and then put it back up, kind of thing. Those kind of options, right? The team behind this has me excited. again, I don't get real excited for space games in general because I tend not to enjoy them as much. Or even if I do start off enjoying them, I tend to fizzle out after a while and get bored with them. I'm more of a, medieval fantasy or classic fantasy setting type person in my games. I prefer that in my RPGs, but I'm definitely willing to keep an eye on this one. I did look, I don't believe it's on Steam yet. It certainly, I don't see anything here under this video, but it certainly looks like it has its own website or something. So uh, I could check into that, and if I find it, I will link that down below in the description as well. Um, by the way, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ringing the bell for notifications, and leaving a like. And if you leave a comment, please know I do read all the comments, and I get back to you on as many as I can with responses. Yeah, I appreciate your views so much. I know your time is precious, but seeing the views I get and having the interaction to the comments I get is what encourages me to keep doing this. So I appreciate your encouragement. Your feedback means a lot to me. I'm really enjoying doing this channel. You asked me 2 months ago if I would enjoy doing something like this, I'd be like, I don't know. But I really am enjoying it. So it's great. It's a nice change from just going out and doing playthroughs on games. It really is. And it's been a lot more fun than I actually thought it was going to be. So this is something I want to continue to do and hoping to reach more people. So spread the news. And, with your likes and your comments and your subscriptions, you do help push the YouTube algorithm for me, gets the news out to more people, gives me a chance to reach more people. More people I reach, the bigger audience I have, more interaction I have, the more encouraged I am. It's a circle, it's a cycle, it's a cycle circle. It's great. It's like a motorcycle and a circle without a motor. I have no idea. It's early. But I thank you all so much. And anything else I could tell you, I have links down below also to my gaming channels, my Discord channel, where I post all my videos for all my stuff, and I talk all kinds of nonsense constantly. We talk about all kinds of subjects on there. A lot of great people there. A lot of the people, about half of them on my Discord, are other content creators who end up being busy and don't often chat a lot, but you can go click on their names, go check out them, and see what they're about too, because there is a lot of great people there. People I respect and love. And hey, I respect and love all you as well, once again, for your views, spending time with me. From Mist Valley Entertainment News, my name is Dread. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.